And if you understood that what they're really saying is, I'm hurting, I'm scared, I'm alone, that would make you feel very different from just feeling like you're being attacked or bitched at, right? So what we need to do then is change our perspective, change the way we're looking at these things, and as a result it changes the way you feel, and as a result it allows you to fill your own cup up. As you start to fill your own cup up, then you feel satisfied and you feel good inside of you, and you can start to fill your partner's cup up. One of the big sabotages, and there's 3 in relationships, one of the main sabotages, the way we sabotage our relationships, is we focus on ourselves only. We focus only on ourselves. And we're not focusing on where your partner's coming from. So here's a stretch for you. In communication, in negotiations, when you're trying to create some kind of synergy with somebody, the first rule of thumb is understand where they're coming from first. Seek to understand first, then be understood. But the sabotage is, you don't understand me. Okay? You don't get where I'm coming from. So, think of it this way. If you need to get something accomplished with somebody, you need to share with them what it is that you want and what it is that you need. And if you feel like you've told them 1,000 times, that's irrelevant. Tell them 1,000 more. If the outcome is, I want this, and what you have to use is use some of your words to talk, and this is what I'd like right now, this is what I need right now, instead of assuming that they should know, ask for it. And make sure they know what you really want and what you really mean. And part of that is communication. In neurolinguistic programming, there's an assumption that we have. And neurolinguistic programming just means how you use your mind and language to program yourself, to communicate, to influence behavior, yours and others. So when we talk about behavior and influence, what we do is we have these assumptions. And one of the assumptions is that communication is the meaning that you get. Communication is the meaning that you get, which basically means that if you say something and they don't get it, then they're not the ones that have the problem. What you've got to do is you've got to re-say it and re-communicate in a way where they do get it. You've got to say it in a way that they understand it for real communication to take place. So you just kind of paraphrase. So, you might say something like, what I really need is for you to, when I come home and I'm upset and I'm stressed, I don't want you to fix anything. I want you to just kind of listen and tell me it's okay and everything's going to be all right and that you love me and you're sorry that I'm going through this and you just give me a hug. That's what I really want. Okay? And if they say, well, I'm doing that, I told you how to handle this and how to handle that. Okay? Then say, all right, that's not what I wanted though, so what we have to do is I got to say it to you in another way so that you get it. Okay? What I want you to do is grab me, and then maybe you just physically grab them, and say, what I want you to do is this. And then you hold them and you say, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I feel so bad for you. This totally sucks. It's so unfair. You're such a wonderful person. I love you so much. And you show them, and they're like, well, all right, if that's going to make you feel better, because you're speaking Spanish to someone who speaks English or the other way around, so they're going to feel like, that's not how I would do it, so it doesn't make sense to me. But, that's the first part. Communicate what you really want in a way where your partner gets it. And then your partner will start showing up. Now, here's the deal. When you ask for something and your partner gives it to you, you better reinforce it. You better say thank you, or I really appreciate that, or show them affection in some way so that you positively reinforce the behavior you just got. You associate pleasure to the behavior you just got so that they want to do it again in the future. And this is such an important part, and most people skip this part. They get what they want, and then they actually act like it wasn't enough. Or they don't reinforce it at all, or they continue on a rampage, and they forget that this other person's kind of hoping they get a little pat on the back. Now, I like to say that you don't need the pat on the back, and people don't want the pat on the back, but we do. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants to feel validated. Everybody wants that pat on the back. I know in certain cultures and in certain circles, the men aren't supposed to need that. We're not supposed to need that at all. We're supposed to be strong, masculine creatures that don't need the feedback. But you know what? We want it anyway. Men go to war over that validation from their wives. Okay? We'll go kill each other so that our wives can go, "You're my hero." Okay? Guys want validation. Napoleon Bonaparte, a very famous general, you know, and leader and dictator, he said that he's always surprised how many men will give their lives up for ribbons. You know, for those little medals. You know, I'll throw my life away so that I can have this medal that says I meant something, that I was significant, that I was validated, I was important. Because we all want to feel good, because so many of us don't. So many of us feel plagued by insecurity and fear that we're not enough. So, when your partner, when you ask for something and they give it to you, you better reinforce it. You better say thank you or I appreciate that. Okay? So, now, this is what women want and this is what men want in general. Okay? Men want to feel like the hero. Men want to feel like they can accomplish things for their wives. They like to do things to get things done in general. Okay? Men like to conquer and be the hero and be the Prince Charming and rescue and do these certain things. As long as they think they're going to get some appreciation or approval, they'll move mountains. Okay? They'll do whatever it takes for that validation. Women want to be validated, listened to, understood. My acronym, LOVED. Women want to be loved, L-U-V, listened to, understood, and validated. They do not, men, they do not want to be fixed. Women are smart. They can fix themselves. They don't need us to fix them. What they want is for us to listen and validate. Now, it is a scientific fact, it's not just a joke, it's a scientific fact that women use twice as many words as men, in general. These are not hard and fast rules, but in general, women use twice as many words as men because women by nature are more connecting and nurturing than guys. So by the time guys have used up all their words, their wives have a whole other set of words that they can use. So they want to listen, they want to be connected. And it is amazing if you can literally be there and stay connected and just validate them and understand and appreciate. And when you feel like you've reached your limit where you can't take it anymore, give them a big hug, tell them I love you, and tell them I got to take a break for a little bit, you know, but you know what you're saying is really important to me and I care about you a lot, and you take that little break, that's fine. But if you communicate that and you show love and affection and you validate them, your women will appreciate you for that. But guys typically don't do that. When their women are upset, guys will go, "Oh God, here we go again." Or the woman's trying to connect with them and the guy's like this, yeah. Or they're on their computer, or they're watching TV, and the women can feel the disconnect. They can feel that you're not really there. Even if you're going, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, right, yeah, Oh, I agree with you there." Because in your head, for a guy, a lot of times they're just thinking, when's it going to end? Because I just want to get quiet and go in my cave and just not think of anything. And in general, women don't do that. They do the opposite. In general, women want to process it through talking, sharing, connecting, things like that. So, you know, you don't meet very many guys that sits down with their buddies and say, "Hey, let's talk about our feelings." Guys get beat up if they do that. All right? So we process things differently. So if you've reached your limit and your wife's really upset and you're talking and you know, but inside you feel like, you know, you've had enough. And for all the guys out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you've had enough, then you love your wife and you say, "You know what," or your spouse, your girlfriend, or whoever it might be, and you say, "You know what, I got to do this real quick, or I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. This is really important, though. I appreciate you. You know, you're a wonderful person, and everything's going to work out. I know it's going to work out for you. It's going to be okay." And you really validate them. You really understand them, and then you go and do your thing. They will appreciate that because women are smart, and they'll get it. And then, you know, they'll call a girlfriend, or they'll call their mom, or they'll call somebody else, and continue the connecting process until they feel like they've got it out. Okay? So, for men, we want to solve things and move on. For women, solving things is not really the issue at all. It's about the connection and the circular energy going on. They're not interested in solving things. They're interested in working through things continually. Okay? Because that's how the process goes.